Friday night. And you know what that means? It's time for Around the Table. I am your host, Vision Coach Alicia, and every Friday night, I'm always excited to come and sit with you. Listen, as you come in, share this out because tonight is absolutely going to be, I know I say it all the time, but tonight is going to be extra special because tonight I really have a very special guest with me, and I get so excited when I can really be excited about my guests, and I want you to be excited about my guests with me. So go get yourself some water, go get yourself some soda, or some of y'all call it pop, coffee, whatever works for you, and come on in and sit around the table with me for about the next 30 to 40 minutes because tonight I'm going way back. When I tell you I'm going way back, I am going way back. This guest that I'm going to bring up, oh my goodness. So listen. Without any further ado, and I started a little bit early tonight, so those of you that come in, you might catch it right in the middle of everything. But I want you all to understand that there are people in your life that are people really for your life. You know, they say that some people are here for a season, for a reason, and all that other stuff. But there's some people that come into your life really for a reason. So let me bring on stage with me tonight. And here she is, Miss Linda Pickney of Brashe's Beauty Supplies. Hi, Linda. How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I am fantabulous, and listen, I am just so excited that when I called you, you were able to say yes because we go way back, way back. And
Yes.
when I realized, man, you were celebrating 40 years in business, I knew that I had to make some space for you. So let me just jump right in and ask you this question. I know that tonight you all are going to be celebrating your daughter's birthday tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And she's going to be 40 years.
40 years old. Yes. Yes.
So that means that she was just born when you all started this business 40 years ago.
Yes. She was like 3 months. She might have been like 2 or 3 months old. Hmm.
Wow, that's absolutely awesome. So then my question is this. What month did you all start the business and what year did you start the business?
We started the business really actually November of 1984. But we celebrating early because I want to mix our celebration in with the Bria being 40 years old.
With her birthday.
Her
I
birthday.
got it. I got it.
Brashe name
Yes.
is her middle name. She's actually Debria Brashe Pickney.
Oh, that's the connection with Brochet.
Yes, that's her middle name.
Brochet is her middle name. Come on now. You all have this thing all together here.
Yes,
Listen,
yes,
one of the things that I love is when I can see longevity in people's lives. And 40 is such a significant number. When you think about 40, and we could go back to the Bible with it, we think about the people of Israel
hmm,
being and going around the mountain for 40 years.
yes,
And they
yes,
went around and going around the mountain. They had a lot going on. They had decisions they had to make. There were times they wanted to go back to the old way of things. So let's talk about this 40 years journey
yes,
that
yes,
you have had, and I have had the opportunity to spend a little portion of that time with you. And
yes,
so because we come from an industry which is the beauty industry,
yes,
and you were what we call a distributor at the time that I met you. So
yes.
tell me a little bit about how you started. You all started the business. How did you all start the business?
First, we started off like say 1984, and we started out with the beauty supply, and we opened our store up on Fondren. And it was like we just did the 40 year. I mean, we did 1984, and then what happened when we able to get all the different lines, we purchased a business from someone else.
Oh, okay.
Because see, when we took over with L'Oreal and Soft Sheen, Carson, all those companies, we took over Bennett Beauty Supply.
Okay, that's where I wanted to go. So Bennett Beauty Supply
It was
was
that
not
was
originally yours. That was
no,
just
we
okay. Y'all got it. Okay, got
we
it.
bought Supply, and I can't think of the year that we bought it, but it might have been like, could have been maybe like 30 years ago, could possibly been. But we purchased Bennett Beauty Supply, and we had all the different accounts, and so that's how we end up having all the other names like Revlon, L'Oreal, and everything like that.
Yes,
And so
yes.
that end up with you guys, and then we just kept, like we just switched everything over to Brashe's after Bennett's. We had it so long. Hmm.
Got it. Got it. So you are located where? Because you said Fondren, and there may be viewers that don't have any idea what we're talking about. So which city and state are you located?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas.
Yes, in Houston.
Awesome.
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
So you started to talk about some lines that you carried in this beauty supplies.
Back
What
then, we like Revlon and all those lines like that. Revlon, Clairol, the organic root stimulator.
yes.
Mazzani, Affirm, Avalon, Affirm, all the different lines.
And at that time, you all were actually known as what they would have called black beauty supplies or black distributors, correct?
Yes, yes. We was the black distributor. We was actually because even when with Mazzani, when we had L'Oreal, because I'm saying Mazzani, but it was considered as L'Oreal. When we had that line, we was one of the top 10 in the United States with L'Oreal, and nobody knew that. And L'Oreal would fly us to different states for conventions or for sales meetings and all of that. And they made sure we did all the good shows, and that's how I met you. Was doing the shows and everything. That was
Yes,
back in like the early '90s and stuff like that.
yes. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, she's speaking about classic entrepreneurship way
Hmm.
back then.
Right.
Those were the days when you had entrepreneurs like Johnson, um, and Johnson, when you had Johnson, uh,
John
Mr. Johnson,
had Ultra Sheen,
Ebony and Jet,
Paul
yes,
Carson, all of those.
Starshine Carson,
Hmm.
Dudley's, all of those
That was owned by black companies. Luster Products, all of those companies.
luster products, yes, those
ISO
were
products, ISO Plus.
Isa Plus, yes,
Yeah, all of
and
those companies.
Worlds of Curls products.
Worlds of Curls. Yes.
That's where I actually started my career in the beauty business. I worked for Worlds of Curls. That was the first company I ever worked for.
Mm.
And I remember working for Mr. Davy and traveling with him for distribution purposes when they were trying to enlarge distribution. And that's where distributors came in. And so when they were looking to expand things, and I met you, as you said, while I was working for Mazzani, which
Mhm.
Mazzani was a very prominent hair
Yeah.
care line,
Yes.
relaxer line with
Hmm.
maintenance products. And it was one of the top of the lines because we at that time wanted it to be very exclusive, not
Hmm.
just sold to anyone, but sold specifically to beauty hairstylists.
Yes.
So we went to distributors like you and made you all promise you're not going to sell it over the counter. You're going to
Right.
sell it specifically. Those were the days. Those
Yes.
were the days when we rolled into places like Bronner Brothers shows.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm noticing that there's still some tail end of it because I noticed there's something going on in New Orleans, a Bronner Brothers show coming up.
It was actually last week in New Orleans, Bonner
It
Brothers.
was last weekend. How interesting is that? 40 years you've been doing this. So let me ask you this question. Why do you think you lasted so long in the business when there were so many others that have come and gone that were black distributors? or Black
Uh,
Beauty Supplies?
my first thing, first number one, I put God first. Second was family, and I treated people right, and we was fair.
Ooh,
I was
that's
fair.
the big one. You were fair. You treated people right.
Hmm. We were fair.
Man,
Hmm.
I love that. Put
And
God first.
God first, family next, treat people right,
Yes. And
and I put
treat people
yeah,
right. You all listening to this formula, you new entrepreneurs who have made a decision, you all going into business. You've got to have some foundation. Listen, this is a show where we come on and we speak with authors, we speak with coaches, we speak with writers, we speak with women entrepreneurs, and we speak with small business owners. And this evening, it is actually my pleasure to be speaking with Miss Linda Pickney of Brashe Beauty Supplies. I used to be what you call her sales rep. She was my distributor. This was one of my distributors that I could go to if I needed some help. I need a
we
quota this month.
to make
Can
the look
you help me?
to make your numbers, because we had
Make my numbers, because it was not easy in those days. They would give you some numbers and you had to come up with those numbers. But I also tried to be fair. I tried to be a dedicated sales rep and give you whatever you needed to help you in the business. And I am so excited that 40 years later, I can still speak with you. And listen, I had the pleasure of really seeing Linda in person in June when I was given the presidential award in Houston, Texas. She dropped everything. She brought samples to the event and she came and spent the night with me. So, Linda, thank you for always supporting me
well,
across the board in anything that I do. I really appreciate you. So, I want to ask you this. In these 40 years, I have seen transitions
mm-hmm,
in this industry.
mm-hmm,
So, how have you handled transitions? And when I say that, they have been where the Asian beauty supplies came into existence, and
yes,
they really took a lot of business away from a lot of other distributors, and some of them phased out, they dropped out, whatever. They have been where you have had to figure out a way to pivot and help your business survive. So tell me a few of the transitions that you all may have gone through.
well,
And when I say that, is because also Mr. Pickney, Mr. Raymond Pickney, who's your husband, and your children, and I'm going to ask about that after, have lasted with you throughout these changes
all
and
the 40,
pivots.
all those years too. Yes,
Yes, so let's talk a little bit about what transition looked like for you.
with transition was something like when we first we couldn't we it was hard to get hair from the company because they wouldn't sell to us for selling hair. So that was one problem. And most of the black women wanted to wear hair, so we couldn't get hair. So we did have a couple of companies that did sell to us, so we were able to sell hair. So actually in Houston, we probably got maybe, I might say maybe 1% of the sales for hair in Houston. And
Mhm.
but then after the hair weave thing, we gave that up with that. But then when the like about 10, 15 years ago, when everybody's like going natural, that really hit us really hard below the belt. And we just kept the faith, pulled our pants up, put our socks on, and start hitting the road running. We figured out with my son and my husband and the girls, we said, let's do something different. So we went on the streets and selling product, going to barber shops and selling to barbers. And so now this behind me used to be hair. Now this whole wall is like clippers. It's all clippers.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so you see that wall. So that wall
Wow.
hair. And so we
Yes.
had to change our business, like it was like almost 8 to 9 years ago. And then we went to the clippers and doing barber battles. And then we had to go mobile. So we have like, we have a truck and my son has his own truck. So now we go from city to city, different states, selling barber supplies to barber shops. Then we always say we wanted to have a black owned business, but 8 years ago and 9 years ago, it changed. We had to
Uh-huh.
go other race. So we went multicultural. And a lot of our
Okay.
business is Hispanics, Colombians, Puerto Ricans, whites, and Asians. So we just kept the faith. and hey, just kept moving, and it changed our life.
Wow. So see, that's the thing in business, having the ability to change and go where the trends are going. So you said the first thing you realized was a lot of women were going natural. So people
Yeah,
weren't doing a bunch of relaxers and stuff anymore. And
right.
then you realize that they were wearing those who were wearing weaves and
We,
everything, you all were not being supplied
we
with the
couldn't.
hair the way you should be, but you all as business owners figured out what was the next thing that you needed to do. Say, and that is so important because a lot of people businesses fail and business go out of business because they're not going ahead of the trends. I'm telling you, when I'm looking at your wall, as you said, now you understand. Let's focus on barbers, because like right now, I don't go to a hairstylist. I go to a barber
Right.
for my hair. And
Hmm.
so I totally understand that. So let's dig into this a little bit and then we'll go back. You mentioned your husband and your children. So this is a family ran business. Okay?
Yes.
What is it like to actually work with your family members?
Oh, it's great. My kids, my family, we work well together. We now we sometimes we have our little ups and downs and arguments or whatever. We work it out because we got all of this. We got to do business. We have to do business. And so but it's been good. I get along. Me and my husband get along really well. Sometimes he makes a decision that I don't like, but he is the leader. He's the boss.
Yes,
So he
yes, okay.
not agree with it sometimes, but hey, we have to move on. I have to like agree. We just make it. We meet in the middle. Sometimes
Okay.
sometimes my kids, they are my children, but still they are grown adults, and so they have their way that they tell us business. But really, actually, we had to go on the way of the kids now because we were doing things like ma and pa. We had to get with the computer. We had to do certain things with the business that my kids knew the change was coming. Mama, you got to do it this way. We can't do it the
Yes,
way anymore.
yes. That
So
is awesome.
youngsters know more how to change a business than we do.
Okay. So they brought the technology part
Yeah.
into your business so that you all, and you said yes, because you all were operating like a mom and pop store,
Pop-
and they're saying, okay, let's bring. So, I mean, because 40 years to be in business is a long time, but I can see why you are in business because you were able to go with change and go with transition. And
Mhm.
I want to talk a little bit because you always remind me of this one phase of your business that I witnessed for myself when
Mhm.
you actually changed a part of this business. You got a building,
Yes.
correct? So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what you did.
When we did the building, well, first we was in a shopping center, and my landlord wouldn't fix things or do things, and he didn't care about my customers. So we said we have to either move to a new center or build our own, and we decided to build our own building. And then we decided to build a salon suite with private suites for stylists and barbers. And so we have a 40 suite salon with barbers and stylists, but no, it was really
What
for
did you say? 40?
40 private suites. But
Oh my goodness.
let me go
You
back.
like this number 40. 40 years in business, 40 suites. Okay, let's go.
So, I have to go back to the day we walked the building. You remember that day, right?
Yes.
It was no walls, right?
No. Oh,
It
sorry.
was just a building. And you came and walked the halls, and you prayed. And you walked through Danielle's room and said, I'm gonna make Danielle don't be talking how she talked, in that room. You prayed
Yes.
for her. Say if she started to say things she shouldn't say, she's gonna choke. Then we got on around the whole building. We walk and walk, and you turned around in my face and you say, Linda. She said, we was on the last hallway on the back. She say, Linda, you say you not gonna have no men here, but God is telling me right now it's gonna be some men in this building. Okay,
Wow.
we've been here 15 years, and I think 6 years ago, no, it's 14 years. 6 years ago, I put my first barber in here. Now I have 10 barbers. But
Wow.
you spoke that
So
in
I spoke that word to you, and you have seen it come to pass.
Yes, you spoke that word in 20, and I think it was 2010. But we opened in 2010, so it might have been like 2009. You spoke that word.
Around 2009. Okay, wow, that is so awesome. See, and that's what we have to understand, that wherever we are and God is, we need to let God use us. You know, some people hide who they are, and I never hid who I was. Y'all always know I was the saved girl. I was a Christian. I'm gonna come in there talking, you
Yes,
know, and God allowed me to speak that into your life, and you've seen it come to pass, and that's a
yes,
blessing to hear the
yes.
testimony that now of those 40 suites, you have 10 that are barbers.
Barb.
That is awesome. So let's stay here for a minute. The barber shop and all the 40 suites are one part of this building, and the other part is the beauty supply.
Yes, the barbers, the barber shop and salon. That building is 10,000 square feet, and and the beauty supply is 2,000 square feet.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, that is massive.
So it's
And
12,000.
so, yes. And so, with the children in this business, you all are setting this up to
Mm-hmm.
leave a legacy for your children.
Yes, yes.
And that is what's important when we go into business, what the end all and the end results, what the goal is, what is it that we are going to be doing. Linda, let me just pop over here a minute to our comments and questions, and let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hi, Coach Ann. Coach Ann is saying hi. Hi, Sanika. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Yes, prophecy fulfilled. Yes. Go ahead and share this out to a couple of people, because it's so interesting having this conversation with my former distributor of Brashe's Beauty Supplies. I'm so excited that she said yes, and she's here with me tonight, because to stay in business for over 40 years, because when we look back, and we spoke about transitions, there's no longer any Johnson Publishing Company, which was
No,
Ebony and Jet.
no,
There's
no.
no longer any Soft Sheen Products, which
Yes.
was black owned. There's
No
no
more
longer,
Wave Nouveau. No more Wave Nouveau products anymore. No more
yeah,
sporting Wave. You know.
right,
No
right.
more no more designer touch luster products anymore.
All of these changes. And so when we see business shift, and we see business change, and we see those who we considered black businesses in the beauty industry phase out and go away, and you are able to survive. You said the one key thing: I put God first.
Our
And
first.
maybe some of those businesses did not know how to put God first in their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember when we transitioned from soft sheen product to L'Oreal,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
and
remember
it
that.
was a big major difference in the way things were done and the way things were ran.
Mm-hmm.
And so tonight I am just so grateful. Let me ask you this other question that I have here. How is it doing your business today? What is it like doing your business today versus how you had to do business 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Uh, Doing business today, I'm mostly we like those 30 years ago. 30 years ago was mostly
You
dealing
can
with.
answer the person. This is very casual. We talking.
Okay, got you. Because they start talking in the back. Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
uh, 30, saying like 30 and 40 years ago, we mostly dealt with women and was selling to women. And so,
Okay.
and now the transition had to change to shift from selling to women, explaining how to take care of their hair. And when this another thing, once the internet came out and Google came out, people you can I'm a licensed hairstylist first since 1979.
That's
But
right.
people wouldn't listen to what I had to say once Google came. They started wanting to go on the internet and see what internet say to do. And I can tell you firsthand, I have known how to use every product that they put on the market. I know what to do because I'm a professional. I started when before relaxers came out doing hair, so I knew how to work with natural hair. But now people with the internet, they'll come in the store and they'll say, "Well, I'm gonna go and Google it first and see what Google says."
They
But
don't have that trust factor of you
they don't.
knowing.
They lost the trust.
Wow.
They lost the
Wow.
trust. They lost the trust factor. And then
Wow.
so after that, and it was kind of like getting kind of tiring to be dealing with that in the store. So it kind of like when the change for me, it was good because I was able to get with the guys and in a different race and start selling clippers and selling barber products. And whatever I told them, they listened. They
That's
listened.
awesome.
They
Okay.
listened.
That's great. So you said that you all have two vehicles.
Yes.
You all go from city to city now, barbers to barbers. So you all actually doing being very intimate with your clients. You
Right.
all you also mentioned that you all do barber battles. What is
We
that?
have the barber battles. That's when the guys with that's barbers, they go on stage and they compete against each other. They go on stage and they compete. Like this weekend, we're going to Dallas. It's called BarberCon in Dallas, and so we'll be going there to see the battle in Dallas. And then my daughters are going this weekend. It's a battle in Las Vegas. They go into that battle in Vegas on Sunday. So different guys from different cities and states come in, and they compete cutting hair. See who
Okay.
can do the best beard, can do the best fade or whatever. They
So
even they wins big money. They wins from $1,000 to $10,000 on those battles, and
wow,
they can win a trophy or either they can win a belt.
that's awesome. So the industry have really changed
It have
from
changed.
what I knew it to be with you.
Mhm.
I recently also communicated with one of my old distributors in Chicago,
Mhm.
Jordan's Beauty Supplies.
Jordan, yes, yes.
Jordans. And when I think back of the history that I
Mhm.
spent 22 years in a beauty industry where I learned, where I grew, where I knew, and now today it's so different. And to see that you have survived in this business for 40 years, I want to celebrate you. I
Thank
want
you,
to celebrate your family
thank
for
you.
staying, sticking, not quitting, but making the adjustments that
Yes,
was
yes,
necessary and needed to survive. Because what I want people to know tonight is that you could be an entrepreneur. And listen, I know that you are your business for your children so that they can have it as a legacy for your children. But I know that your business is also set up that if you all wanted to sell it, that
yes,
you are able to sell it and be
yes,
profitable in it. And that's what people have to be thinking about today. When
yes.
you're starting a business, how am I going to end up? Will this business become a business that is saleable? Will this
Right,
business become a business that, I can rely on building it so that it is profitable to me later on? And
right.
so I want to just say thank you so much for
You
spending this time with me and sharing with me. So I just want to give you a minute to see if there's anything that you just want to say about the industry before we close, because I know that you have to go.
I just want to say that, like, just to the women, let's be careful with doing different things to their hair because I see so much hair loss right now. Be careful with using hair that hair that's coming from out of the country that they braid into their hair and attach it to their hair because sometimes that hair can cause a some kind of like infection to the scalp or you can get allergic reaction from that hair. And that's not saying it because I want you to come buy hair from me or whatever, but I'm just saying that I see so much hair loss. I have not seen so much thin hairlines or back lines or just balding in my life. Or everybody's saying they have alopecia. I never seen so much alopecia today that I see right now. And I started doing hair since 1979. And I know I might have a backlash of saying this or whatever, but it's be careful of different things that they putting on their hair. And I do want to say this, even two people tell me all the time because I sold relaxer. Relaxers wasn't bad. Relaxers was always good. It only because of what hands it went into. If you didn't use Mazzani made a and you're supposed to use a system. Some people stopped using a system, and you have
Yeah.
Mazzani. It was Mazzani made four or five products that goes with that relaxer that you have to use together. And if you didn't do that like that, you would have a problem with your client's hair. And when I was taught in beauty school, the relaxer was supposed to go so many um not say inches, but so much from the scalp. It wasn't supposed to be directly on the scalp
On
and apply it with a brush. So all those different things was a factor when it came down to doing hair. And like even Mazzani, they made their own neutralizer. You couldn't use somebody else's neutralizer with Mazzani's relaxer or a firm relaxer. You have to use their product. So and not, I'm not saying that yeah, relaxer might have hurt some people have because they might have took medication or they might have been stressed or whatever. But the relaxers was not bad. And that's what I guess people said that it was the lie. They was putting straight line. No, if a chemist made something, they didn't make anything to affect nobody's hair.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. Things are it's a system. And if you decide that you're going to use Mazzani relaxer and then you're going to go and use somebody else's neutralizer, yeah, you're not using the step-by-step program or regimen that
Hmm.
they give you, so it could cause some problems. And you said one key thing: relaxers are never to go on the scalp. They were always made to go off, at least an inch off the
Oh,
hair
hair
here. And people, and now there's a lot of controversy in the industry.
about
But
that.
I just want to just commend you that you all were able to withstand, go through the transition. When you realized that one thing wasn't sustaining your business, you all found out what was needed, what was next, what you should do to go and continue you building your business. And I am just so absolutely proud that I had um some time to spend with you all in this industry, in your business as your rep. We had fun. We made money
We made
in
money,
the
and
industry.
Mazzani would pay good money for shows that we they for nice hotels. They did spend good money for hotels.
This, oh my God. And I'm telling you, but it was not easy work. It was
No,
a lot of hard work. I
oh,
could remember
behind the scenes. Yeah,
Yes, living on an airplane. I will go from one state to the other state
other
to the other
yeah,
state. By the time I get back home, I'm home for 2 days and I'm off again to
oh,
a other state. But I loved it. I
yeah.
loved it. The beauty industry is absolutely, it's not going to go away, whether it's in cosmetics, whether it's in hair care, whatever we decide to do in this beauty industry, we have to respect it and we have to be able to really go with it. Linda, I want to put up here a way that people could contact you if they want to. They could just go on your website, which
They
is
go on the website, or
Brashe.
they can go to my Instagram, Facebook is Brashe Raymond, or they can go to my website, either one of those. But most of the time,
and
I answer everything on my Facebook and Instagram.
and Instagram. So that's the way that you could contact them. They are located in Houston. Do you ship products?
No, we tried that too. I don't ship product. We they can come into the store and purchase. I don't do any shipping because I don't.
Okay, and then you
Because we
drive.
can't compete with Amazon with certain things too.
Okay, okay, and then you drive to different
I have a different sell to them. Yes.
with the barbering end of it. Well, again, congratulations for being in business.
Oh, you want to come speak to Alicia and maybe you want to come speak? They want
Come
to hire.
on over. Come on over and say hi. I watched you all grow up. Come on
They want to stay
over.
outside. They
They
don't.
don't want to come.
No, no. Mm-mm.
Where's the birthday girl?
She must have went next door to the salon. She left out.
Okay.
Mhm.
And none of the other. Y'all don't want to say hi to me. What is wrong with you? Anyway, well, I got to see, at least I got to see Mr. Raymond. Thank
Yes,
you again.
you're
Who's
welcome.
coming?
They didn't come. Nobody's coming.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's just see if there's any other comments before we sign off tonight. Thank you so very much for being here with us tonight. Those of you who understand that entrepreneurship is not a walk in the park, it's a
Nope.
lot of work and it's a lot of stick to itness. Tonight, my guest was Linda Pickney of Brashe's Beauty Supply. We're celebrating that she's been in business for over 40 years. She owns a beauty supply and she owns a building that has 40 chairs in it mixed with hairstylists and barbers. It's called Salon Suites. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to be innovative in your business. Now, Linda, let me ask you this. Are all your chairs filled? Are all 40 chairs filled?
We have 5 empty. 5 that's not.
Five empty.
Yes.
Wow. But that's awesome. And so that is just great that you all have made it possible for people to have a space out of where they can actually work and it's their own space.
Mhm.
That they're responsible for. Let me, that's I'm gonna end with that. How is that running a space like that with 40 people that you have to deal with?
Uh, hmm. Well, I'm gonna bring God back in there again. Well, they came, and then if they wasn't right and didn't do what they need to do, I asked God to remove them and don't hurt them. Just remove them out of my place and send me the people who need to be here.
Wow. You all hearing that? Everything that you do in your business, put God first. Put Him first. Ask Him first for what it is He is going to do for you in your business. You know, the one thing I'm looking at the scripture that I have for my business right now, it's Proverbs 10 and 22. The blessings of the Lord brings wealth without
Hmm.
painful toil or for it. We
Hmm.
always have to rely on God in our businesses, and I operate my business on a scriptural preface because I cannot do it without Him, and you could not survive for 40
No,
years in business without Him. And thank you so
thank
very
you.
much for allowing
Okay.
me to share some of those years with you as your sales rep. So thank you so much as you go and celebrate your daughter's birthday. It was
Okay.
great having you. I appreciate you so very much. God bless you until we meet again. God
Thank you.
bless you.
All right. Bye bye.
Listen, it was just such a pleasure to come on and go back to my roots and speak with Linda of Brashe's Beauty Supply because I'm telling you, she was one of my biggest supporters whenever I had something to do in my business. She was there to make sure that I got things done. Before I leave tonight, I just want to tell you all thank you all so very much for supporting around the table, and I want to let you all know that I have a new book out, and here it is. It's called Prayer and Advice While We Wait, for those that are unmarried, those that are divorced, those that are widowed and single, and they're over 40. So, this is my prayer and advice to them while they wait. The pre orders have started already on Monday, and we are going through until I think the 15th of September is pre orders. You can make sure that you support it. I want to put up here, I'm trying to find a link so that if you want to, and I'm not seeing the link, I thought I had the link up here, but you can support the business by going on my page and purchasing the book. And the devil is a liar. Let me show you a other view right here. This is the cover of the book, the full cover of the book, or you could get the book for $15.99 and support this project. It is going to be available um, September 15th, so you could pre-order up until September 15th, and then we're going to start to ship the book out. I'm going to slow down here for a minute because I know that I have, and here it is. Okay. I just kind of lost the place that I was at, and that's why I couldn't find it. But here it is. You can pre order the book, you could pay for it through Cash App, which is Real Life, or you could pay for it through PayPal. When you do that, please include your shipping address so that we are able to send the book out to you. And there is an additional 550 for shipping. So you could pre-order from August 19th to September 1st, 15.99, and it's 550 for shipping. The ways to pay is Cash App, $ Real Life, Alicia Covington, or PayPal.me, Boss Coach, and please include your shipping address. And we'll be happy to get this book out to you. It's going to be a great read Those of you who want to be married, stop saying you don't want to be married. Just prepare yourself to be married, because the word of God tells us he that finds a wife finds a good thing. So prepare to be a wife and not a girlfriend. And that's going to make the difference for you if you prepare yourself to be somebody's wife rather than to be somebody's girlfriend. And so I just wanted to share that with you all tonight. And again, my guest this evening was Linda Pickney of Brashe's Beauty Supply. We celebrated that they were in business for 40 years of business. Isn't that awesome? You could be in business for 40 years. And again, this is Around the Table. I am your host, Vision Coach Alicia, and it's always my pleasure every Friday night to come in here and bring a guest that is interesting and exciting. And certainly, you know that 40 years of anything, you know, those Jewish people went around for 40 years in the wilderness, and all they did was complain, 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 complain. But here we were. We had someone who stayed in business for 40 years so that they can leave a legacy to their children. So until next week, with another guest. I'm Vision Coach Alicia. Thank you so very much for being with me this evening. And I'm going to check my chat one more time to see if there's any questions that I may be able to answer. Thank you so much for putting up the YouTube channel for me. And I want you to know that God is first in anything and everything you do. So, again, thank you for watching. And so, until next week, when you sit around the table with me again, bring your iced tea, bring your water, bring whatever it is that you want to bring that is going to take you through a half an hour, 45 minutes with me. And so until next week, ta ta. God bless you.